going on, everyone? I'm Silverstrand, and today I'm here to show you that you can cut your own hair. And before we get into this tutorial, I want to just say that I'm not a professional barber, but I have been cutting my own hair for the last 10 years. I also want to just point out that this first tutorial I'm doing is about fading your hair on the side, and it's not a technique that I would recommend for a beginner. I will have some more videos coming later on for beginners, but with my current hair length, I decided it would be better to start with the fade rather than wait until my hair is grown out. But be on the lookout for those videos to be coming in the future with longer hair on top, maybe some shorter hair on the side, but without the fade, so it'll be easier for beginners if you're looking to start cutting your own hair. So to do this, you're gonna need a couple things. You're gonna need your own hair clippers. You will need your own razor, and you will also need a 2-mirror setup like this. So the best place to do it would probably be in your bathroom, since you already have a mirror there naturally. And then you can use any other mirror. For myself, I have this standing mirror here, full-length mirror, but you can use any mirror. You can use a handheld mirror. You can use a different kind of wall-mounted mirror. It doesn't really matter, but it will be easier if the second mirror that you have can be stationary and stand up on its own, because you don't necessarily want to be having to hold a second mirror and also try to be figuring out what's going on in the back of your head and trying to cut back there at the same time. And then you'll also need a vacuum, preferably also in your bathroom, so that you can get that quick cleanup. So what I like to do first is try to imagine a line right here that goes around and down and then around the other side of your head, kind of symmetrically. And what I like to try to do first is to start with the clippers and make little indents there, so that you kind of know what you're working with, where you are going to need to blend. So this is how it looks after step one. What you really want to do is just make sure that where you started cutting here is pretty even with where you started cutting on this side too. They don't have to be perfect. The hair is going to be really short here. No one's going to be able to tell. You just want them to be close enough that no one will be able to tell when we're done with the rest of this process. So now for step two, I have my clippers. I put the one guard on them. The clippers are closed, which means that this lever here is all the way forward. And now I'm going to cut about a finger's length up all along where this line is that I first cut. So now for step three, I have my clippers with the 2-guard attached. Once again, the clippers are completely closed, so this lever is all the way forward, and I'm going to go up about another finger's worth. So we're done with step three, and it's same thing here, just looking to make sure that the hair is pretty much even. Once again, doesn't have to be entirely perfect. We just want it to look pretty symmetrical so that we can go in for the next step and have an even playing ground to start with. So now for step four, I have my clippers with the 3-guard, and I'm going to go up a little bit higher just until I get to the end of the sides of my head. For the purposes of this video, I'm only going to be going up to the 3-guard. You can go higher, up to a 4 if you want to, but for the look that I'm going for, I want it a little bit shorter, so I'm going to just stop at the 3. So we just finished step 4, and what you want to keep in mind, I should have said this earlier, but what you want to keep in mind with step 4 is that you're trying to blend the top level into the top of your hair. And so you can use a technique where as you're going up, you're coming away from off of, leaving the clippers directly on the head and actually flicking away. This will help to transition from your 3 or whichever guard you're using at the top into the top level of your hair. So now that we're done with step 4, we want to make sure that the sides of our head are pretty much blended into the top of our head. You know, generally we don't want to know where the side of our head ends and the top of our head starts, but you can always go back and fix it later if, you know, throughout the haircut you find that there might be some parts of your hair that you need to go back and blend a little bit more. But the disclaimer here is that there's so many different kinds of hairstyles, so many different kinds of looks that you could be going for, that, you know, if you're looking for something that is maybe a little bit more edgy and you want to be able to tell where the side of your head stops and the top begins, then there's a little bit more creative freedom here. Kind of just do, you know, what you think is going to be best for your hairstyle and the look that you're going for. For step 5, we're going to start blending from the top and move down. So what I mean by that is we're going to try to blend the 3 at the top. For me, since that was my top, my highest guard that I went up to, we're going to blend that down into the 2. And how we're going to do that is we're going to have our clippers with our 2 guard attached. We're going to open up the clippers about halfway. I've found that if you do it the full way or the full width first, it's not really going to take off much and not really going to make a difference. So rather than wasting our time, we're just going to open up halfway and start to blend. If the halfway completely takes away this line, then we can move on to the next step. Otherwise, you can close your clippers completely and then go over the line again, and that will get rid of the line. So this is where you really want to make sure that you are utilizing the flick away from the head technique for the rest of the steps on, because that's going to give us the easiest way to eliminate the line between these different layers. So now that I've finished going over with the 2 and the line has pretty much been removed, I was actually pointing at the wrong lines earlier. So the 2 was here, the 3 was up here. So now I'm actually going to move down to the 1 to the 2 and start to blend those layers. So now we're going to start attacking this line that I was talking about earlier in my previous step, which is the line between the 1 and the 2. And so for that, I have my 1 guard. I have it all the way open so that we can get the most length out of this clipper guard. And then I'm going to start going up to this line and swiping away. Once I've finished that, I'm going to move it to the half position and then go over the line again. And then once I'm done with that, move it closed. Use your own discretion here. We're really just trying to get the line to go away. So if you see it go away, you know, in fewer steps, you can go ahead and move on. We're really just trying to get the line to go away. So, you know, whatever is going to work for you is might be slightly different. All right, so the line between the 2 and the 1 is pretty much gone, as you can see here. Now we're going to work on the line between the 1 and the 0. So for this next line, I have my half guard on and my clippers all the way closed. And then I'm just going to use the same principles, the flick away from the head, just going over to remove this line here. All right, so now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and take the razor This is a Panasonic electronic razor. It has a beard trimmer. It's great for if you're trying to do other types of haircuts where you're not going this short and you just want something to square off all your edges. But it's also great for getting the, skin fade, but without having to use an actual razor blade. So I'm gonna go ahead and start showing you how I shave up a little bit, just to get, a little bit more of that skin fade, make the haircut a little bit more edgy, add a little bit more depth and style. But this step is completely optional. You can definitely stop at this point. It's all just about what look are you going for. All right, so here is the finished product. As you can see, there are no visible lines, going down from the top of the clippers down to the bottom where we shaved. And it's really even across the back as well. I don't know if you can see back there. I'm trying to find a good angle for you, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it. But yeah, let's get this cleaned up and then I will show you the final product, post shower, post all the extra hair. For purposes of this video, I'm trying to grow out my hair. I buzzed it recently for a friend's wedding. So I'm trying to get back up to, the length that, I had it at before. So I'm not gonna touch the top of it because I just wanted to get as long as possible. But, in the future, when I have longer hair, I'll make sure to post a longer, another video and show you guys how I cut the top of my hair as well. I do not just use clippers. Don't do that unless you're going for a buzz cut. Definitely use scissors, and I'll show you that, once my hair gets up to that length. Well, this is the final product. You got a little bit of a sneak preview at the beginning. As you can see, the fade is really well blended and the side blends in with the top of my hair. You can't tell where the end of my side of my head ends and where the top of my hair starts. So I think it turned out pretty well. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe this video if you want to see more hair tutorials, more hair styling content. As a new creator, all the help and support is greatly appreciated. Every single like, every single subscribe, it means the world to me. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.